Yo, what up, guys? This is a follow up video because I made a video a couple months ago that got a lot of traction, a lot of comments about the dark side of DMT and psychedelic usage. And this video is mainly for educational purposes. The YouTuber who inspired me to make that first video is not around right now. She has deleted her channel. I don't know where she's at. If you do know, please be a positive influence on her. Do not harass her or give her any negativity in any way. I hope she's doing good. There's been plenty of time for her to make changes. I really hope she's all right. Like I said, don't harass her, don't bother her. But if she ever gets this message, I'm sending all my positive vibes to you, because to see someone who was quite presentational like she was go down that kind of path, I just want to make sure that she's all right. But I am going to make a follow up video, part two, because I noticed she deleted her channel and I wanted to have a different topic on why it is that we have turned to these psychedelic substances, is because our times are progressively getting worse. And when people in my age, this is who I could probably speak for. We grew up in 1990 era where things were very prosperous and we had a lot of good things going for us. We had Nintendo 64s, we had all sorts of cool things, Power Rangers, all this stuff. And then we are adults and the ages where we should be getting married, getting established, getting careers set up, having kids, starting the family cycle all over again. We are an absolute disaster in that department. We have a lot of people who don't have very much ambition. We don't have any sort of loyalty to our significant others. The family unit is basically obliterated. And that leads to a lot of children who have single parents or no parents or no solid role models, which is very scary as a child. A background on me is my father was usually always working, so I was not around. I didn't really get to see him. I know that he did the best to his ability to provide for the family. So I cannot say that he did a bad job, but I didn't have a whole lot of life lessons growing up just because he was working all the time. It's like I said, I'm not blaming him for anything. He did the best he could. And usually my mom was dealing with my sibling growing up, so I grew up very isolated. Although I had a roof under my head, I'm grateful for. I understand how confusing the world could be, especially when you don't have any clear instructions. And that's just, I think, the short part of my childhood. Not to make this a sob story, is I didn't have a whole lot of instruction growing up, so I didn't know the dangers of the world, and I had to face them and find out the hard way. And it is a very bad road to be on, and I can only imagine what these kids who don't have family units who are providing for them, who have to feed themselves, and who don't have solid role models are going through. So this is a big deal because it's not necessarily about me, but I could take my childhood shortcomings and I could amplify it, and then I could see what other generations are going through. Um, it is wow. It's mind blowing. But like I said, that's we have a very messed up society because and that causes a lot of us adults who should be adults now take psychedelics. And what do? We get tricked and we think that we're this vessel for oneness, when of course we may just be being very selfish. We may just be being know-it-alls. We may just be being that, that's not it's not going to work out. um, I think that that's actually a very dangerous part to be in, because we get hooked on that experience because it was so enlightening and so awesome that here we are going back to our scary reality. I understand escapism. I like a good video game. I like a good Saturday night every now and again. But when you have it take from your real world duties, you are setting yourselves up for disaster. And when you don't do anything and things get progressively worse, that is on you. And I don't want it to be on me. I want to be the guy that says, "Hey, man, we need to. It's fun to have fun, but Cat in the Hat, don't overtake it, man." That's one of my favorite books because it taught me there's a fun way to have fun, but when you take it too far, you have a disaster waiting for you. But like I said, um, it really is escapism, in my opinion, where it's an extreme escapism, and you're going to have more of these bad experiences with DMT. And I don't care what Joe Rogan says of when he talks about like how many times he could take DMT in a day. It's hard for me to believe that, just because of from what I've seen people in my real life go through when they take too much psychedelics. It's a scary process. And then there are some other online influencers who are very underground, who talk about people like that who push those kinds of psychedelics, and they say do not trust them with that because they are putting up a front. So Big Bear, if you are watching this, please, thank you. Keep up your streams. Even though I don't agree with everything you say, I really hope that your family is prosperous, your farms are prosperous, and I'm probably going to try and copy your lifestyle very soon because I'm seeing society go in a certain way, and I think being self-sufficient and growing food is very necessary. But I feel like a lot of these people who are spokespeople for these psychedelics are just pushing them to get people hooked on something that's rather bad in the long run and is going to cause more damage 5 or 6 years down the line. So, in conclusion, no, I do not trust these DMT salesmen. I do not trust these ayahuasca salesmen. Like I said, those are things that need to be taken in very short increments, not often. Why have we turned to these psychedelics for enlightenment? From what I've seen, I can't speak for everybody, but for those who have, and I'm telling the truth, that our reality currently is horrible compared to what we started off with. And I feel like if we get too hooked on escapism, we are letting our children and our children's children down very hard. And I cannot lift up the whole next generation by myself, and I'm not even going to try. So I'm taking the karma off my shoulders and saying we collectively need to get our stuff together. And we can't be piggybacking off the works of people who want to do good, because the world doesn't work like that. When you have too many people who want to sit there and do drugs all day, you have a problem. And, if you do drugs all day, okay. But, if you fall down a dark rabbit hole, I'm sorry, man, you did that to yourself. And thirdly, I really just hope that the YouTuber who deleted her channel, I hope she is all right. Do not bother her. Do not do anything like that. Do not be a negative influence on her life. But I really don't know what else to say in this video. I wanted to do a follow-up because, like I said, there were a lot of comments about her, how she deleted her channel. I hope she's all right. And then there were a lot of people who were messaging me saying that, yeah, I've seen instances like that too. It might be very anecdotal, but anecdotal testimony does count, because I do want to hear if you had a negative experience with psychedelics. And if you do, please comment, like, subscribe, do whatever. I don't want to just make this video primarily about usage, because I want to make this is a primarily educational video, and it's for discussion. I'm not against escapism, but I don't want to see people take escapism too far to where we are neglecting our skin and flesh and bone reality. Neglecting that is very dangerous, okay? So, all in all, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope I rang a few good bells and reached out to some people. I will see you guys in the next one, where I'll be talking about something a little less depressing and alarming. But this has been on my mind for a couple days, and this is a good way to get my thoughts and my opinions out there. If you liked it, please like the video, boost the algorithm, get this video out there. So if anyone is struggling with any sort of psychedelic usage or is hooked on that kind of reality, that they can break free. Watch my first video if you want to know what I'm talking about. But like I said, bless. I hope you are all right. And let's work for a better actual reality and not escape to video games, drugs, anything like that. Thank you.